Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another daily vlog. Today's vlog is again an editing tip and trick. Yesterday's evening, I talked a little bit about leading the eyes in an edit. And today it's all about match cuts. For those of you who just tuned into my daily vlogs, I am a professional filmmaker, and one of my clients has booked me for an editing workshop where I teach the creatives in that company editing knowledge, but not in terms of using Premiere, but in terms of what can you do creatively in an edit to make the edit or the whole experience of the film. I'm from the advertising world, so it will be a client that is targeting their knowledge towards editing. And the title of my workshop will be "The best edit is the edit that you don't perceive." And one of the, in air quotes, tricks that at the moment is very popular is the so-called match cut. And I'm very certain or fairly certain that many of you have already seen a match cut before, but didn't realize potentially what that actually means or what has happened because it was going so smooth. And a match cut basically is when you have two specific scenes or two completely different scenes that you cut together when they have either the same motion or they are in the same place. For example, and I'm intentionally just made my breakfast. For example, if I had this bottle here and I'm shaking the contents of my fuel shake like this, and then I would cut into me being, for example, in my office, but I would still shake this and I would be in the very same place as this movement, but in a completely different room. That would be a match cut because I'm matching my placement in the frame to the placement in the next. You see that a lot in, for example, horror movies or science fiction movies where they kind of what's the word, get kind of transported. Oh, there is a specific sci-fi word. Morphed? No. Yeah, where they kind of are beamed or transported into a different place, or in Stranger Things, I think they have that as well, or in horror movies like Silent Hill, when they are, for example, in their regular home and then suddenly it snaps and everything around them is in this horror scenario, but they are in the same place, in the same frame, in the center or in the framing of the camera. And that's the match cut. A match cut could, but also a match cut could be, so that's a sentence, a match from one movement to the next. In travel videos, you see that a lot with the Insta360, that they move and then you actually match the movement of your legs when it comes to the front. You go into the next frame and then you match it up with the walk and the step of the next, all being in the same place. Or for example, I mount the camera here on my arm, it looks at the bottle, and I walk because the bottle is always in the same place, and I cut from one frame to the next, to the next, to the next. It would be a jump cut, but because the bottle is always in the same frame and it's matching from one cut to the next, that is what's called a match cut. And that's a very kind of like stylistic, creative way to do so. It's from a narrative standpoint, as I've just alluded to in the examples, it's a great way for horror scenarios or for scenes where you kind of want to illustrate the disorientation of our main protagonist. But it also can be something like an Fight Club. If you haven't seen that movie, spoiler alert. So in Fight Club, our main protagonist is suffering from sleep deprivation, or yeah, he's not sleeping at all. So he's basically always in the state of being very tired. And I hope I'm not completely mistaken. There is a scene where you kind of match cut from one scene to another, and it kind of tells this story of him not knowing what he's doing, and then but he's completely in his kind of sleep deprived state and goes from one area, from an office to the next to the next. So that's what you can kind of communicate with this technique. But nowadays it's more of a visual spicing up of the scene to have some match cuts. And as I said, it's all about kind of making the cut more fluent, and therefore in this case not unnoticeable. It will be perceived as a cut or as an edit, but it is a cool edit. So it makes the flow from one scene to the next a little bit more smoother. And that is the whole thing about this. It is a noticeable edit, but it is a smooth edit that feels very organically, feels very naturally to go from one scene to another, because you have like a common denominator from one scene to another that kind of leads you. And just like my what can I call it? This course, or my daily vlog from yesterday, where I kind of talked about leading the eyes, because you're matching one frame to the next and your eyes are locked in on an item, for example, or a movement. It leads your eye from one scene to the next and makes it very smooth. So that's a very creative technique for a noticeable edit, but a very smooth edit from one frame to the next. All right, so that was my daily vlog about a match cut. And if you want to see the vlog from yesterday that is all about leading the eyes, watch the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking this button up here. Maybe we can get to 1,000 subscribers soon. And also, if you like this, click the like button, and if you have questions, comment below. I see you tomorrow.